folks. You're most welcome to my channel. As always, I'm your homeboy St. Martins, and as always, we try to bring something to your doorstep. We hope that it will, one way or another, add value to your person. And today, I'm not alone. I'm with my barman and elegant gentleman. To my left, we have Debbie. Debbie, you're most welcome. And Umi is also here with us. We have Nda and Mr. Sadiq. You're most welcome, bro. Thanks. Now you're welcome,
You're
sir.
welcome.
Thank you. Hey, welcome, welcome. Okay, I don't know when you might be seeing this video, but right at the time of shooting, it's the Yuletide, and it's a season for giving, a season of sharing, a season of sacrifice, a season of all the good things that happen around the Yuletide. And today we want to talk about sacrifice in loving. You know, it's a season of love, it's a season of sacrifice. Is there sacrifice in loving? And when you love, you need to sacrifice. Isn't this just an extreme, love and sacrifice? Or must there be sacrifice in loving? I wouldn't know, but I think I will reserve my thoughts and ask the barmen and the ladies what they think of love, and if they think sacrifice is an essential ingredient to loving. I think I'll open with the. Let me give the right of way to the gentleman.
I think that's very selfish of you. Sure.
I'm a guy, so I
No,
reserve a prerogative
no,
to
but
be.
that is the same that
Partial.
says ladies first all the time.
No, you can go ahead.
Well, except you want to sit to
You
the
can go ahead
ladies.
to lay the foundation. There's nothing wrong.
Okay. Merry Christmas to you in advance.
I wish you many happy returns. Thank you.
So, I don't think in any relationship. Let's not even go to love. Let's start with let me form a basis. Any relationship you form with anybody, be it a friend, be it a colleague, if there is no sacrifice, I don't think it's going to last. Yes, no matter how you want to view the sacrifices. So yes, love needs sacrifice for it to grow.
Okay. All right. I wouldn't know if every person in say I wouldn't know. Let me go to Debbie. Debbie, do you think that is your position is would that be your stand?
To me, you can't sacrifice for someone that you doesn't love. So love and sacrifice go hand in hand. Love cannot go different way with sacrifice. You only sacrifice for those you love.
Okay. Okay. Fine. Love and sacrifice we are trying to establish, as persons have said, that they go hand in glove. But is sacrifice the same as responsibility, sir?
Well, like you have rightly pointed out just now, this is a season of love. December, season of love. As a season of sacrifices as well, because we are talking about Christmas now, and Christmas itself signifies sacrifice itself and love at the same time. So, like she has pointed out, love and sacrifice goes in pari passu, and it's expected that they should go in pari passu. I understand you that people can still love can still exist without sacrifices, and maybe that is where there is no true love or that kind of stuff. However, where that love exists without sacrifice, maybe it will not last longer. It will no longer be the kind of love. They will not give you, it may not give you exactly what you may need in the relationship. What am I saying? One, there could be issues of errors committed by one person in that relationship, this one or that other person. And it is expected that where that love exists, the other person can be able to forgive and forget.
Okay.
understand?
Okay. Can we just define sacrifice? How would you define sacrifice, and maybe sacrifice in love? How would you define sacrifice?
Okay, sacrifice in this context has to do with giving extraordinary, I'm coming, giving an extraordinary, providing an extraordinary concept as against the ordinary.
Okay. The norm. What
as
is
against the norm.
okay?
Because in this case, you are giving, you are going to give something that ordinarily you ought not to have given.
Okay, Sadiq. What would be your ideal
This
sacrifice?
extraordinary he's talking about, I really want to understand. Is he talking?
No. Leave the extraordinary. What's your own ordinary idea?
Okay, sacrifice. Let's look at it like this. You can't ask me to bring what I can't bring to the table.
Okay, and that's where extraordinary.
That's where extraordinary. Yeah, that's where extraordinary comes from.
Okay.
Yes.
So how do you mean extraordinary, sir?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is something outside the concept, something that is more than what's expected. For instance, like I told you, one, there could be a situation where your loved one is in serious need of something, and you are the only person that can provide that, and that thing you can provide is the only thing you have for her to survive.
Okay, we are talking about.
So let's not drag on.
You decide to
Let's not drag.
sacrifice because of her, to save her. So you have made a sacrifice.
Okay,
Yeah.
with this season of the Yuletide, knowing that I'm going to die, I'm born to die, you accepted being born. Let's put it in concrete terms. You have a friend, a female friend, for instance, a brother, somebody who calls you in the dead of the night, 2 a.m.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm in danger. Could you come out? And you know that there are bandits. It's extremely dangerous for you to come out. Will you still go out to help this person?
Yeah,
knowing that you may or may not get to the one's destination too.
Yeah, that's exactly what
to
we are
lend a
saying.
helping hand.
That's what we are saying about sacrifice. Because of the value you attach to that person, and you have the capacity to move at that particular time to that spot. Yes, you have to go. You can go and render that assistance. You can move down. After all, it may not be hot at the end of the day.
There's a 50-50 thing.
It's a 50-50 chance.
Okay, so let's hear you.
Yeah, okay. Let me bring this scenario here. Let's say I'm not hoping it happens, but let's say a girlfriend of mine or somebody I love got kidnapped. It's a season of kidnapping in Nigeria. Yes. The sacrifice I can make is help raise the money. But taking the money to the bandits or the kidnappers, I can't make that sacrifice.
Okay.
Yes.
And that makes us wonder, is there a meeting point between sacrifice and responsibility? Is there a meeting place where responsibility meets sacrifice? Yeah.
Yeah, you are talking about responsibility.
And sacrifice.
Responsibility.
Because the scenario he has painted is I help raise the money.
Yes.
But there is also there's a possibility that I might be hijacked or kidnapped too.
Or get grabbed.
Or get grabbed in the process. So, and then it is so.
You are talking about bringing responsibility into the sacrifice.
Yes, sure.
That relationship. Of course, in every relationship, there's always a responsibility. Yes, maybe, responsibility in the sense that if I'm having a relationship with any person, be it a man, be it a woman, do you understand? There is a responsibility that awaits me to perform in that relationship, to make that relationship continue, to make that relationship function the way we want it or the way I want it.
Then is it tantamount to sacrificing?
It's not tantamount to sacrifice. Sacrifice is greater than responsibility in this context. Now, sacrifice, like I told you, is that extraordinary input you will do to demonstrate, to show that affection, to show that
are you saying
love.
in the case where we have this bandit issue now, I help raise the money, doesn't mean I make a sacrifice?
No, what we are saying is that if you raise money,
okay, it is the ordinary, it is the norm, it is the norm, it is not extraordinary.
It's not extraordinary. Now, extraordinary in this context, when they now call you to come and bring that money, you are the one that will bring that money.
And you want reference. That is
No.
not sacrifice. That is
Otherwise, and
shying away
ordinarily,
from responsibility. or
because you
something.
know what kidnapping is in this context, we are using kidnapping as a yardstick.
Yes.
You know, now kidnapping in this context, most times they are looking for money. The kidnappers are looking for money.
There will see cases
Now,
where they kill
because they are looking for money, what their target is money and not the life of even the victim or the host.
Okay, I don't know, but do you think that
or you that is coming to?
would you say that sacrifice is egoistic? Something that massages the
No.
feel good of the person who is sacrificing. I don't know. Maybe it matters when matters die, when people, they feel good about it. So is it a feel good thing? You go beyond being responsible to sacrificing. Is it a feel good thing for the one who is sacrificing? And let me ask the ladies. Does it make the one who is sacrificing feel good? I actually sacrifice myself. I sacrifice my happiness. How parents will say, I sacrifice my happiness, I sacrifice my youth for you. And this is how you pay me back.
At the time they are doing it, they feel like, yes, it's the right thing and I'm feeling good for it. But maybe at the end, when it's come out, it may not be good. So the person may feel bad or pain that I went extra mile to sacrifice or do everything for you. But at the end, you still turn out the same.
And you think that? Don't you think that sacrificing is an a risky investment? You think that sacrifice is a worthy investment or something? Jesus died for us and he expects us to be loyal and all. Your parents are doing all of this and you don't turn out to be that good girl. They are looking forward to. They feel disappointed. So is it a kind of investment? Okay.
In the first place, I don't want to bring in the concept of divinity in this kind.
I'm just using. That's
because
just aside.
I want because the moment you bring in divinity, you have already concluded everything you want to say. So to every event there is a cause and there should be an effect.
Okay.
All right. Now, like you said, you are trying to bring in ego. Yeah. Egocentric. Yeah. The man may feel. Yeah. If he does it, it's ego boasting now.
Okay.
Yeah, it's ego boasting. Before you and the girl, if it's a girlfriend, kind of any other person even, it's ego boasting, and they feel that yes, you are actually demonstrating your love for that person. Do you understand? Okay. So I think you get some kind of satisfaction, and that other girl too, or that other person too, will feel so good that this guy sacrificed this for me. So he did this because of me. So it also
enhance
the relationship. It also it will sustain it.
Don't you think that this ego plays is some kind of there are some kind of like I use the word investment. Don't you think is a kind of long or short term investment that persons actually want to cash on?
I don't want to use the word investment because that is not business. It's a relationship, and maybe sustain the relationship, enhancing the relationship to be sustainable. I mean, to a certain level they want to take it to. Do you understand? So investment in this context, if you want to use the word investment, maybe you are expecting.
And who does not expect?
You are expecting a kind of
return.
Payback.
Yeah.
Payback. Even when things are no longer going well or that kind of a thing. So I don't want to go to that level of reasoning as regards to relationship, especially when it has to do with between you and a girl, between a man and a woman, and that kind of a thing. And this period, yes, anything you do, you know that there is not supposed to be any payback. Anything you do out of love, you are not expecting anything back from
that's why it's called.
For instance, a woman. You understand? If I have a relationship with this girl and maybe I'm doing something, one thing or the other for her, I'm not expecting anything back from her. Especially those things I've made. Like you are saying, in Igbo adage or in Igbo palace, they will use one word. Meaning that even if you want to go to a place to go and marry a woman, and you go there at the first instance by way of introduction, you go with drink. When you get there, the people will take your drink. Whether that thing will be true or not, they will take the drinks and drink your drink.
Okay,
They will not give you back.
let's get to
Do you
everyday
get the point?
scenario.
So
Okay.
that's
Yeah.
how.
The everyday scenario. I mean, when you come to loving and sacrificing, we want to use the family relationship. And you find out that most parents will say to their children, if you don't do this, so it's a carrot and stick thing. If you don't do this, I'm not going to do this. If you don't become a if you don't study law or medicine or whatever, I am not going to train you. If you don't marry this person, I'm not going to support you. You're not going to get my blessing. If you don't do this, you don't. So carrot stick.
It's not even carrot
so
stick. It's not. It has nothing to do with.
Okay, and at the
Love.
end of the day, you find a parent who may not be comfortable affording a 250 tuition fee or 600 if it's a university, all of these things. You know, doing 2-3 jobs, selling part of their property to train a child in school, when the one would have been comfortable enough to send the child to learn a trade or something. So, and they tend to see these things as sacrifices. Should the child not turn out as expected by them, they begin to say, after all I did for you. The phrase, after all I did for you, is it something that ought to come from one who was responsible, who was just doing the one's job, or a regret
No,
as a result of sacrifice in quotes?
Yes, no, you see, you're missing the whole point. We're all humans, and then we have emotions. So, and when emotions involve this kind of heavy investments, you tend to maybe say things you don't even wanted to say at the end of the day. I regretted spending my money on you. Come on, parents' love is unconditional love. Whatever they do for you, they do it from the bottom of their heart. If he will say same words, if he has same money, he will still do it again because they're his child.
But it's true that out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks.
Okay, let me.
So if you regret, it means at that point you regret for whatever disappointment that
Yes,
caused
okay,
you.
let me.
We can't take out emotion from
Let
human
me
beings.
come in.
Then you're adding emotion, which is not love.
Okay, let me.
Emotion to love is a different ballgame
Okay,
altogether.
let me come in.
Love is holistic, integral, and should not. It's so integral that you don't add or remove.
Okay, listen now. Let me tell you this. Let me take a background from maybe the Bible, and I know it's also.
And you didn't want to go. You didn't want to go different.
No,
You didn't want to
let
go
me
different.
let me tell you
Support some of
to support what I want to say. Because the act of a parent to the child training is not out of love.
Okay, it's out of.
It is responsibility.
Good.
Are you there? It is your responsibility as a father, as a parent, to take care or train your children. I think the Bible is very clear about that. Maybe there's a place.
When you
where
say
it's
trend,
clear
when
as
you
well.
say trend,
Now,
how do you
I'm
define
coming.
trend? In the ways of living academically,
No, when I say training, it's
trade-wise
holistic.
or what?
It's holistic.
Okay.
Training is holistic. For instance, in the Constitution of Nigeria, the Federal Republic of Nigeria, as it is a responsibility of every parent to take care of their wards. Even the country itself, even the Nigeria itself, it's even their responsibility not to talk about your parents to train all the children within their.
Even when that is just on paper.
You
Anyway.
understand? So these are responsibilities
Because
of
a
a
country
parent.
that pays you 30,
So-
33,000 and
so
they're struggling
it is
to do
a
that
right,
minimum
it's a
wage,
fundamental
it's
right
nothing. They have no
to
right
a
as
child
to do that.
to be trained by his parents. Do you understand? So what I'm saying is that for you to begin to attach it to love is totally a different ballgame.
No, where I'm coming in from is
Hold on.
when you can afford at a 30,000 minimum
Hold on.
wage, your child, because
Hold
your
on.
neighborhood.
Listen, the things we are talking about responsibility. You understand? I was saying that the training of a child is not a demonstration of love. It's not something
It
the
is a
parents.
sine qua non.
It's a simple norm. It's
It's
something
not debatable.
it's not debatable.
Okay,
It
but
is
what is
something that's
debatable? What is
sacrosanct.
debatable
It's
is this.
sacrosanct.
What is debatable is this.
But I
It's
refuse
sacrosanct.
to agree in this point.
Okay.
Yes, it's responsibility.
It's a responsibility
Choosing to live up to that responsibility is another thing altogether.
Okay.
to live.
Yes,
up to.
we saw a lot of Almajiris
Yes,
live
now,
out in the streets
yes,
in
now
Nigeria.
that's the area I want to
Yes.
go in now. What I want to say is this: because you're talking about 200, 300, 400, or this and that naira. No, what is important is what you can afford. For instance, that's why we are having strata of education in Nigeria now. For instance, let's take Nigeria as an instance. For instance, one, we have primary schools that are local schools. We have primary schools that are private schools. We have secondary schools as such. We have universities and polytechnics as such. So one, you know, you can be able to afford. You take your children to that place so that they can get trained and acquire knowledge. Are you there? So that is what we are saying. It's your responsibility as a parent. No, it is different if you don't have the capacity. Maybe I don't have money to take you to school, and there's nobody that will help me out. So you go and learn this job. It's still training. It's still education.
You see, we are treating this topic because there's a whole lot of things going on, and persons we come up with. It could be a boy-girl relationship. It could be parent-child. It could be siblings, and it will be like, after everything I've done for you. Because after everything as a catchphrase begins to happen when the one looks back at the denials, the one
even if at the end of the day, the end of the day, after that quantum of investment, let me use your word.
No, don't use my word, use your own.
Let me use your word. Investment or training put in a child. Maybe at the end of the day, the child becomes a vagabond or maybe becomes wayward. Then the parents on their own side say, I've done my responsibility. I've done my best. I've trained you. I sent you to school. I sent you to this. I sent you to that. And if at the end of the day it is not left for that child, it's no longer the cost of the parents. Do you understand?
But we have seen parents send their children to 3-4 different schools. And they still feeding the bills. So what do we say about those ones?
So these are the things.
Sacrifice does not come on the back of
what
you can tell you that it's a responsibility. It is not.
No, sacrifice is something that actually peels the skin off your body. It does not come from a place of comfort. It does not come from a place of doing the ordinary. Sacrifice rises on the back of, on the extraordinary. And the extraordinary is not for everybody. We are ordinary people. So let's do everyday ordinary things.
Let's look at it from this angle. Parents' love is an unconditional love. Family love, let's just put it that way.
Not all parents.
Why?
Okay, maybe
it is assumed.
No, not assumed. The family I come from.
Okay, speaking for your family. Speaking and mine too. But when anybody uses the word after all I've done for you, it is coming from a place of disappointment, and the disappointment is riding on the back of the investment that is not yielding.
Have you ever disappointed your father while growing up?
I may have, I wouldn't know. Maybe he didn't express it.
Okay, maybe he didn't express it. I remember the first time I wanted to drive a car, I brought down our fence.
Okay.
Yes. My dad was all over the top of his voice. But after a month or two, he bought me a car. So, what are we saying?
Yeah. Okay, what did he say in his moment of anger?
I couldn't remember the exact word, but they were very harsh.
You believe
they were very harsh.
They were very harsh.
They were very harsh, yes.
And
in front of everybody.
Okay. No, to correct somebody and to say what you did is wrong, what you did is juvenile, that's okay. I mean, but it does not amount to disappointment, which rides on sacrifice. I mean, people break things, people
so
spoil
things. What I call it is disappointment.
In the process of learning.
He's disappointed by what he saw. Because he thought it brought me better that I should obey his rules.
Basically, did you steal the car keys?
I took it without his consent.
Fine, you did. So he could have been mad that you did the right thing the wrong way. If you wanted to learn and you let him know, perhaps he would have gone better. But now, because you did something wrong, it has resulted to even a worse thing. And he demonstrated it, and everybody who does that. But when you say, I am sacrificing, sacrifice will mean in this case, you know.
I have a friend, before you go further, I have a friend. He was sent to study in the Ukraine. He went there, he chased after all the white girls, he couldn't bring any certificates. He come back home. For the first year, 1.5 years, it was turmoil in the whole house. The father couldn't listen to him. But being family friends, when the guy decided to reason that he has to do something productive with his life, he came, he gathered my father, some top men he knew that were friends to his dad. The father was angry, yes. After 6 years of spending in the Ukraine, you know the amount of money he spent? They went, they talked him down. He still accepted the boy back. Now the guy is a graduate.
Okay, fine.
Yes. So is this responsibility or is it the law for the child?
There's responsibility. The place of responsibility comes in, I can afford to send you to study wherever. Alright? I have the wherewithal. That is no sacrifice. The sacrifice is I don't have that wherewithal. I am actually going to scrape the skin of my body to do that. I'm going to sell properties. I'm going to borrow money. I'm going to do whatever it takes. I'm going to be working 2-3 jobs just to send you there in the hope that you not only be better for yourself, but you come back and help in the family. Then when you go there and mess up, trust me, you're going to get not just hand bites. You're going to get beaten. All right? So, but for someone who can easily afford it, that's just doing the basic minimum. And the way these two places and two things will work out, it's not going to be the same. So we are still talking sacrifice in love. Does it go beyond responsibility to the extraordinary? Or is an investment? Or is something that actually massages the ego, a feel-good thing? Persons in this neighborhood are sending their children to the Ivy League colleges, and you feel like you should do them when you cannot afford it, when you don't have what it takes. Somehow you got yourself in that neighborhood. Only God knows how. And you're actually sacrificing just to feel good about yourself, just to belong. And a whole lot of persons do that. Okay, you want to make an impression before a girl, she's putting you in a dangerous position, or vice versa, the guy is putting you in a dangerous position, and you want to make an impression so that you begin to rank high in her ratings or in his ratings, vice versa. I think that's crazy.
No, this is what we are saying. We have told you, I think you have been able to establish
that.
something.
Well, what is it we have established? Because for me, I believe that what we are trying to say is that responsibility is different from sacrifice, and sacrifice
yes,
is
personally,
sacrifice is a recipe for disaster.
Personally, the bringing up of a child or whatever he does that is so natural in a relationship is responsibility and not sacrifice.
Okay.
I just said it.
Okay.
And a sacrifice comes in when there is utmost demand and there is extraordinary strength. I mean, extraordinary input to achieve that,
set desire
of goal.
And do you think? And thank you so much. Do you think this is okay? Do you think this is okay?
Now, let me come. The issue of the school, or you don't even need to, because you don't even need to give conditions to your children before sending them to school, because it is their right to go to be educated.
This is Nigeria.
It
When
is
you're
their
in a
right.
continent, you should be taking the country we are in context.
No, what I mean by that is this.
That's what I'm saying.
When one is not going, it does not mean that the parents does not know that it is their responsibility to send them. For instance, even the evangelists, what they're even doing here too is school. Do you know?
Education in a different
from
way.
The angle of the
those that
hadith,
they set up.
as it were, is a practice. You see, the prophet himself acknowledged that people should go here and there to
let us not
acquire knowledge.
Let us not go to the
No,
let's come back to the
to
everyday.
acquire knowledge. So I don't want us to look at it from the angle of Amanjali. Amanjali education is also training, or it's part of training. It's part of schooling. Do you understand? Because they are learning Islamic and Arabic studies there. Do you know?
Okay,
Well,
let's come.
That is the standard.
Let's get
so
back.
now
Let's get back.
No, hold on. The standard is there, and that's what I'm trying to create. The platform is no matter that. One, you have a child, you have children, you must send them to school. You are supposed to send them to school, and that thing you are doing to them is not even a favor. It's not a favor. It is their right. It's a responsibility.
I still believe with the country we are living in.
Do you understand? So when you are not, if you are not doing favor, if you have money, you are talked about ego, whether it represents ego or this and this and that. Maybe you have money to take them to Kenya University, yeah, or maybe what are these universities that are all over the place?
Whether within or without.
Redeem University and all that. You have to go and pay 1 million or 900,000 because you have money. You say to do it, fine. That one is not ego-centered.
No, you can do it, and it's not sacrifice.
It's not sacrifice now. It's ego-centered because you want to feel that you can take your children to the best schools in the world. They now go there. Whatever they are acquiring there. Me that went to Lagos State University here, or University of Lagos here, I've acquired it as well.
Okay.
So
Let's get back to the contest. Like, okay, do you think that it's actually what when person sacrifice in a relationship?
Yes, it's worth it.
Okay, let me take to the other lady. Umi, do you think it's worth it when person sacrifice in a relationship? And why would you think so?
It's worth it.
Okay, why?
Because I think relationship come with, as in, like, relationship come with sacrifice.
Okay, because we are actually trying to draw the curtain on this discussion, I believe there is a whole lot of, to different folks, different strokes. And for some persons, it's just okay to
Yeah, but
sacrifice.
someone like me, sacrifice of Romeo and Juliet, count me out. Sacrifice of Jack in the Titanic, count me out. Sacrifice you are behind enemy line, count me out.
But what is sacrifice if you don't?
No,
I mean, if it's not the ultimate, if you don't want to die.
Well, I want to die and then she move on with another guy. Then what is the essence of the sacrifice in the first place?
I think now I'm afraid because when you're doing it, there is something called being altruistic and being selfish. You're being altruistic is you're doing it and it doesn't matter whoever receives.
When you say selfish,
You know, Jack in the movie Titanic was like, go ahead, get married, have children, okay? And the guy died gallantly. Come on, Sadiq. You could die gallantly sacrificing.
I don't live in Hollywood.
There's a whole lot of, there's a whole lot of these things going on. Many persons believe that love and sacrifice are one and the same thing. I tend to disagree, even if it's a little. I believe in love and obligation, love and responsibility. I am my spouse and myself, the children we have, my siblings, my parents. There is responsibility and obligation, beyond obligation, responsibility. Then there is also that aspect to, the largesse, the favors, which are the extraordinary. But sacrifice, I feel when we get back to it, think about it, ponder on it deeply, we find out that sacrifice could be a disaster to most relationships. Think about it on your own. Do what you have to do so that whatever happens tomorrow, whether it's a breakup in that relationship, whether it is some unsavory behavior, whatever it may be, you don't begin to think back and say, after all I've put in, after all I've done. Do that which you can do, and when there is something unexpected, when the unexpected happens, you can say, I did my best, and beat your chest with that satisfaction that comes with it. I did my best. But that's my talk. Maybe one last word before we draw the curtain, Sadiq.
Okay, sacrifice goes a long way. Because I think of Two-Face Amani Idibia story, and it always melt my heart.
Nollywood.
No, not really, not Nollywood. In reality,
Okay.
he met her when he went to perform in the university. She was in the University of Lagos. So he was together with his boys. So they only have a few change to transport themselves back home. So when he approached her, they talked. He escorted her with her friends. That morning he was supposed to transport himself with his friends. He paid for her fare with her own friends. So they trekked with his friends from University of Lagos to wherever they were staying, and they went and drank Gary that night. But they end up getting married.
Okay, fine. We're not going to break into celebrating that transplant. Like that's Sadiq talking, right, gentlemen?
Yeah, like I said, I told you that love and sacrifices go, in pari passu. I've said it, and that yeah, of course I know that everything has extent, to which it goes, but importantly, we are talking about things that are feasible, things that are realizable, things that we can be able to measure, and not things that are, we cannot be able to even contemplate. Do you understand? Yeah. So in a relationship, parents, father and mother, parents and children, boyfriend, girlfriend, wife and husband, yeah, sacrifices must be done, between you and your wife. But children, it's a responsibility.
Oh, okay.
Seriously, it has not even
So
anything
there are
to do with
sacrifices and there are responsibilities.
Yeah.
Okay, Umi, last words. Any last words? And okay, Debbie.
I think I don't have any
Okay, the ladies do not have last word. I'm sure these barmen have said whatever it is the ladies may have wanted to say, and it's how we draw the curtain till we come your way. I'm still your homeboys in St. Martins, and these are the barmen and the elegant ladies. Please think about this. You know, if you're sacrificing and whatever you sacrifice, please don't regret in the case there is a backlash, there is a breakup, there is something that didn't go the way you thought it would go. And that is the measuring stick with which you weigh that goodness you want to perform, that being a nice guy, you know, how nice guys finish last. Don't be a nice guy to your own detriment. Don't be an elegant lady to your detriment. Whatever you do, love the right way. To become your way, I'm still your homeboy, St. Martins. Take care.